Hi, welcome to the GenX Glam Gab channel here on YouTube. It is great to see everyone, whether you're new, whether you're coming back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know there are a lot of choices out there, and you chose to hang out with me. I'm in her basement, doing a little bit of glam, doing a little bit of gab, having a midlife makeup crisis, and sharing the journey with you all. I am sure appreciative of everyone that's joined. And I know we have recent members. Yesterday, the number was like 975, and today it's 984. So we had nine people joined yesterday, including Janelle's mom. Welcome, Janelle's mom. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the new folks that have joined to see my cat, sweet Gina, and her frolics about, mostly begging to go outside, watching the snow melt so she can eat grass. I think that's her favorite pastime lately. New members on Discord, Tundra Girl, you made the 50th member. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, April. Thank you, Alice, for joining as well. Discord lately. On Easter Sunday, I'm going to spin the giveaway wheel over over on Discord, and there's going to be a winner of this epic Elf Charlotte Tilbury Glam bag of goodies that I've just been tossing in there, and it's finally happening. So just a little bit more days, a few more days to wait, and then we're gonna finally reveal that. And when we get to 100 members, I'll do another epic giveaway. But so there's a few more days to get in on that action. If you'd like to join the Discord server and do that, I will spin on Easter Sunday. I can't come online because I won't be able to, but I'm gonna spin it. And if you're on Discord, you'll see the winner. I'll post all over the place because it's probably the most epic thing that's happened to the Discord server since I created it. Definitely the biggest giveaway I think I've ever done across both YouTube and Discord. All right, my skincare turned out so nice yesterday. I'm just going to replicate the same process. I'm going to use different makeup today, but I'm going to try the same skincare. This was the Essence Lotion from Guerlain's Orchard Imperial line. I don't have it in the full size. This is the first time I have gotten it as a sample from the shop, from Shoppers Drug Mart, and maybe this might put me over the edge to buy it in the full size. I haven't decided. There is actually an epic bonus redemption going on at Shoppers. It's not bad. If I cash in 350,000 points, I'll get $500 to spend in the store. And I do have the 350,000 points. I just don't know if I have anything to get. I just got the epic Guerlain a Belle Royale Discovery set that came with this serum that I've been wanting for a very long time, the Doubler Renew and Repair Serum. The goodness of the black bee. Like I just pulled the trigger on a big item. So I don't know. It ends today. And if I don't make it out there after work, then I just have to hope within the next couple of months before I leave that I can cash in, that I'll get a decent bonus redemption. Oh, there's another giveaway going on, just a glam grab giveaway that'll close on April 27th, on Sunday, April 27th. I'll draw that winner. I will be online that day to say, hey, congratulations. It's just a whole like potpourri, if you will, of glam and skincare products that I've just been curating over here on the side of my glam station. And that will be drawn coming up here. Not too soon, but not too far away. All right, let's go in with this is the Youth Water Oil from Guerlain. I really like it because it doesn't feel super watery and it doesn't feel super oily. I am pretty sensitive to putting products on my skin that are like, make me feel like an oil slick. And this one definitely doesn't. I have it in the full size, although I'm just trying to get through my samples. I used a sample this morning of the La Roche-Posay. It was a purifying foam cleanser. It's one of the little mini samples I've been getting for buying raffle tickets out in town at the Shoppers Drug Mart, who are gearing up for their May 3rd spring mingle, what I'm affectionately have recoined the whole thing, the Springle, although it's not getting much traction around town, but I sure as heck like to say it. Anyway, you know, the network of charities for that the proceeds go for buying these raffle tickets is immense. Like 380 some charities are in this network, that the proceeds from buying the raffle tickets from the shoppers, from the various shoppers, they're all independently owned. They carry different stuff. They lease space in the Shoppers Drug Mart store. so they don't always have the same brands. They, you know, some are flagship stores. Like there's a flagship store for Guerlain, for example, which is where I bought the Belle Royale Discovery set. So they don't all have the same stuff in terms of like the size of their boutique, but they've all got a boutique of some sort. And of course the drugstore aisle, which I hit up every time. I don't just go to the boutiques and look at the luxury brands when I go to Shoppers Mart. Every single time I go to Shoppers Mart, I will make a pass through the drugstore aisle to see if I can see anything that's new. All right, there we go. Face feels so, so soft. And there's a tiny bit of stick to it. Not like ooey gooey, but there is a little bit of stick, which is great. And for, in my opinion, for building a skincare base, because I am going to be coming in with a little bit of makeup and I'm going to want it to stick to something. All right. Underneath the eyes, I think this might be the last application I can get through this sample from Shiseido, from their Ulta Immune line from Shiseido. This is just an under eye. Oh, I don't know. Actually, no. That's more than enough that I need, and I can feel the pressure in this little sample. There's at least one more application in there. Not super thick, not super thick, not super thin. Really nice texture. Smells nice too. Doesn't bother me, the smells with some of this stuff. Like the Guerlain, I don't know how to explain the smell. Fresh, luxurious, refreshing, and all of their stuff. Kind of the same with Shiseido. It's like this fresh scent. So I'm just dragging it around to sort of my delicate areas, nose contour, lip contour. I'm just dragging it along my jaw neckline, underneath my eyes, on my lids, down my T-zone. Let that under eye cream sit in there. I don't have it in the full size. I have gone through several of this size sample of the Ulta Immune under eye. It just says that it's powerful infusing eye concentrate. I get that. Like when it comes out, I get that it does look quite concentrated, but when it goes on, it just smooths on so nice. All right, what's kind of, the serum's coming next. They've used, it's like amazing. 2 fantastic formulas, one pump, mixes together. Let me see if you can see on my hand the combo. You can see the lighter one in the back is this formula, and then it mixes in with the more lotiony one. Don't need a lot of that. Look at that. It's not super thick. It's not super thick at all. I love this serum. So happy I got that Discovery set. Got 20 times the points on it, used a few coupons, got 20% off it. It was as good as cashing in points on a bonus redemption, in my opinion, in terms of the cost of it all. Boy, I can't think of anything I need out there. I've got the offer, cashing in 350,000 points to get $500 in mad money. I just can't think of what I need. I think I'm staying away. I think I've decided I'm staying away. I did get something in the mail yesterday, though. I think I mentioned I did my the last thing I purchased during the Sephora spring sale was a restock of my NARS under eye. Actually, it's all over. My concealer, it's in the shade Vanilla. I did a restock of it, and I will show you the samples that I got. I never would have got these samples in the store, ever. This is 2 setting powders. I don't know why. Maybe I thought I'll throw them in a giveaway, but I think I've tried the loose powders in the past, and you know, I do much better with compact powders. I feel like my face does better with it, and like me as a person who has to actually use the product, it's just easier for me to work from a pressed powder compact than to be knocking loose powder out and trying to figure it out. But I think probably sometime offline, I will play with this, probably after Easter. I've got 2 different ones to mess around with, they're all loose powders. Those were the samples that came with my latest and greatest purchase from Sephora, which I bought because it was a restock and I didn't think I was going to ever get a 20% off coupon from NARS. So I pulled the trigger on it. All right, let's see. I have on my lips a bit of Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheek, and I want to talk about Charlotte Tilbury. We're going to use her magic cream in a second. This is in the shade Pink Venus. I don't know why I decided to use it. Normally I use Hot Gossip, but the lip sheet pencils are fantastic. I pulled out Charlotte's lightest shade of Pillow Talk, her icon shade. I was thinking of going with it. It's kind of like a little bit of a nude. And I also pulled out this nice little shimmer from the e.l.f. Glow Reviver oil line. And I don't know what shade it is. Crystal Baller. Okay, gotta love that one. I also pulled out some Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrating, like moisturizing tint. I went through one of these last year. This was a repurchase for me. I was thinking of putting a little bit of tint on, but let's see. Let's go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I'm rushing my skincare normally I let my skincare marinate more than I'm doing this morning. Okay, so I'm rushing more than normal, but what else is new? What else is new on that front? All right, so what about Charlotte Tilbury? I got a notification yesterday that Charlotte Tilbury has dropped, okay, e.l.f. has dropped something new too. I want to talk about both of these things. And then I'm going to circle back to some of the feedback everybody was talking about when I asked the question about how you clean your beauty blenders. All right, so Charlotte Tilbury first. Charlotte Tilbury's come out with like a new rock and roll sort of eyeliner smudge pencil. I posted a picture of it on the Discord server in the, I think in the luxury channel for makeup. It's basically looks to me like it looks like it's a pencil like that has a tip that you would sharpen, but it's hard to say. I'm guessing it's going to be a gel like feel in the formula, but I don't know. But at beauty school, the teacher told me that the best liner pencils to use, especially for a beginner, are the ones that look more like a pencil and not, you know, something like this is, I think this, what is this one? My Clarence, no, this is my Clinique one. You know, they would call this a gel liner. Oh gosh, do I have any left? It's coming up. They would call this a gel liner. This is not a pencil that you would put in your sharpener and sharpen. Teacher told me that the ones that you would put in your sharpener and sharpen are kind of the best ones for beginners. They're more precise. So that's what the tip looks like. Whether the formula is more of like, you know, what we would imagine it would be for a pencil, or it feels more of like a gel tipped formula, that remains to be seen. Is it going to transfer? That remains to be seen. This is my pencil that I have from Charlotte. It's not, it does transfer, but I do like it. I love how it has two ends. Like this is like a black end. So spoiler alert, I did buy this new rock and roll lid liner. I bought it because I don't know, I'm still sort of out there looking for that liner that I can tight line with and do just a tiny bit of accentuation on my lids, upper lids, not my lower lids. I don't want to draw anything fancy. And this, the other side of this has just like a really light, good for the corners. Oh, why is that pulled up so far? Okay, let's carefully put the top back on that. Don't use this that often. And at the end of this new product from Charlotte, there's a smudgy brush. So I think that's kind of nice, but whenever I see a product, all right, there's the, that's a little bit of the Wet n Wild Tinted Moisturizer. There's no SPF in this. That's kind of like a bummer. Let's see, I'm just looking for the shade. It's just in the sheriff, the shade Fair. I was saying, when any product offers a brush at the other end, like let's talk about the Makeup by Mario sculpting sticks, okay? He's got the brush at the end of his. These things make me nervous because how the heck do you keep them clean? I think it would be a little bit easier to keep a smudger brush clean, I suppose. You could, you know, you could be very delicate about it. But that's one of my concerns about putting a brush at the end of a product that's meant to be used with the product. That means that you have to keep it clean. Yeah, so speaking of keeping it clean, I guess that's all I have to say about that. It comes in 6 shades. I got like Barberry Brown or something like that shade, and it's $32. As far as I could tell, she didn't offer a mini with the launch, which is sort of annoying because I would have much rather bought a mini of it, but maybe because the brush is attached, they just feel like it's got to be all or nothing. You know, it's it's hard to say. All right, so let's talk about yesterday, where I was like, hey, how do you guys clean your beauty blenders? And I was sharing a bit of information that I read from reading some articles online, and I've got a lot of feedback. Barb N says she soaks hers in 91. I think it was 91. That's a very precise number, Barb. 91% alcohol solution. She soaks it in it, and then she washes it in a mesh bag. I wonder if you could put one of these in a mesh bag and put it in like a dishwasher, because you know you can do that with toothbrushes to sterilize your toothbrushes. So it's just, I don't know, I think it's just a real interesting topic. Barb W said she uses Dawn, the cleaning Dawn, which is great. I love Dawn and Dial for that kind of stuff. I think as long as you've got, like at beauty school, if we didn't clean our brushes with the 71% alcohol solution, you know, and then sort of pat them out and then let them dry, if there was gunk on them, like I'm gonna get gunk on a brush to apply this, then that's a lip brush, don't want that. If there was gunk on them, then basically what we would do is use the antibacterial soap that was by all of their hand washing stations, and that's how we would clean some of the brushes that got like liquid on them. So I think that there's just all kinds of methods you can use. I think as long as you keep in mind that things got to get cleaned up or they're going to give breakouts, then that's all there is to remember for the most part. I mean, I have met some folks who don't really talk about or, you know, think about keeping those brushes clean. And it's so, I'm telling you, sometimes at the beginning of this collection, you know, when I was, I don't know, at the beginning of the collection, because I've not only been collecting makeup here for the past couple of years and skincare products, I've been collecting tools. And in the beginning, it was really fun when I didn't have like a ton. Now I have somehow amassed a pretty decent collection of brushes. So I was going to say, I'm not going to lie. I have a stool in my bathroom that I sit at every week to do these cleanings, because, you know, it's a chore. It's a lack of a better word, but it's a chore that's well worth doing. I mean, it's well worth doing, and you're protecting your skin. Anytime you protect your skin, it's a win. So the other product I want to talk about that I noticed in the space that dropped, just noticed it yesterday. Got a notification from Elf. Elf dropped it looks like a serum. It looks like it comes in like a Doppler radar. It looks like it's a serum for like acne prone skin, and I got it for my son. It's got the 2%, I think they call it salaric, I can't pronounce it. Salaric acid, that is the component I think that does sort of fight the blackheads. So, you know, my older son has a pretty interesting skincare routine. He's just really into it, you know, just because and I have to say this, you know, and I do try to pull him back, because in the beginning he was like obsessed. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I had to tell him like, oh, you know, every once in a while you have these breakouts, but for the most part, your skin is young. You don't need all of this stuff. You don't need a million steps, you know, but he still seems to like having a toner, having a serum, having a moisturizer. I talked him out of the under eye cream because he was asking about that recently. I'm like, you don't need that. He's really good about the sunscreen. So I'm gonna give him this when it comes from Elf. We'll look at it here. We'll look at it. I can't even remember the name of what Elf named it. It wasn't cheap either. For Elf, it was $16, but I think it's gonna have at least 30 mils in it. So that's a good thing. I'm dying to do a little bit more with my lips. So we'll see. This is supposed to be, I thought I pulled out the Icon Nude, but let's see what we got. Again, I don't know why I went with the Pink Venus lip liner. I should have used a different shade, but anyway, we're gonna go in with this and we're gonna put that Elf Crystal Baller on top of it, see what happens. Little bit of blush, little bit of powder, and I'm gonna be out the door. This is the Ash Rose. Subby Dawn bought this and shared with the group that she saw me use it. And she said she's not one to, you know, it's hard for her to find that holy grail blush. And she thought that this formula, you know, didn't look patchy and didn't look like overbearing, too crazy when I used it, which I agree. There is a thickness to it. It's not super dewy, although when it goes on, it kind of looks like it is, but it's a pretty decent formula in terms of meat, you know. It's not very light, but it blends really, really well into the skincare. I thought I would match it up with that NARS Gina powder blush from the NARS bundle that Megan won was something that I saw pop up on I saw the thing pop up on Ipsy. It was a members only purchase. It was not, you know, it was really marked down, and I thought it was a great deal, so I pulled the trigger on it, thinking it fell in my giveaway budget here for the channel. And I'm so glad that Megan likes it. I'm going to use a little bit of it today. Like I got the no makeup look going 100%. Let's put the crystal baller on. I'm going to lean in on these lips. I feel like I could fill in the lips. Lips are not my forte. I've said this before. You know, lips and the eyelining, it's just not something I've practiced my whole life, right? Makeup's, it's the same. I guess I just need to keep practicing because I have not used a lot of makeup. So I cannot, you know, draw these liners on the lips and the eyes like some people who have been doing it for forever, and they could do it, you know, without a mirror, blindfolded or whatever, you know. I have my own skills. This is what we need to remember when you feel an insecurity. Remember, just because you can't do something well doesn't mean that you can't do other things well, right? Because we can't do everything perfect. We cannot do everything perfect. That's just not the way it goes. Nobody can. So we can't beat ourselves up too much. Here is the Gina shade by NARS. Wow, look at that fallout. Look at that fallout. All right, going in over that flower nose ash rose. And then I'm probably going to call this good because I got to get out of here. It's garbage day. I don't know why I always feel the need to tell the group when it's garbage day, but when it's garbage day, me and the younger boy, we are always like running around the house last minute. And especially because we're moving, I am making sure I get, oh, by the way, this isn't the shirt I'm wearing to work. I meant to say at the top of the show, I meant to say, I'm just like, I just threw on this t-shirt, my Breakfast Club t-shirt to get ready to do this video. I need to go pick out an outfit, but you know, I've been down here grabbing garbage, Gina's garbage. So I didn't want to put on any nice clothes yet. So I got to go pick out an outfit, go make sure the kid has, you know, gotten all the garbage that he can find because we're moving. My goal is to make sure this is that SOS Clarins lash serum. I think I could use it on my brows too, in the shade Caramel, but it doesn't really have a pigment. Just a really nice lash serum, and it separates out my lashes, but it doesn't give a pigment. Whereas if I rub my eyes at some point today, it's gonna be all over the place. But I'm definitely trying to, I was looking at the lips. Definitely trying to hit my 3 garbage bag max, you know, like what I'm allowed, because we just need to keep getting rid of stuff. Purging. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I don't really like to leave the video on that note with this thought of purging, but you know what I'm talking about. If you're also doing some spring cleaning, decluttering, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a necessary evil, you know. We accumulate stuff that we think was a good idea to buy at some point, and then you know, at some point we decide to donate it or get rid of it. So that's where we're at here. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope that you're well. Congratulations again to Megan. Congratulations to everybody that's hanging out there on the Discord server waiting for me to draw the epic Charlotte Tilbury elf giveaway. I'm as excited as everyone else is. That's going to be exciting. Again, I'll do that on Easter Sunday, and there is a video out there that's rocking the current giveaway that I'll draw on April 27th. So opportunities abound out there. Now I can leave on a positive note. Opportunities are always around the corner. You just have to go looking for them. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, take care. I'll see you in the next video.